exploring sacred geometry and spirituality. Welcome. Today we embark on a journey to explore how simple shapes and patterns might reveal the sacred design of existence. This journey is about sacred geometry and how geometry becomes a bridge between the visible and invisible, between matter and spirit. What is sacred geometry? Sacred geometry refers to the idea that certain geometric shapes, proportions, and patterns are more than just mathematical or decorative. They carry symbolic, spiritual, or metaphysical meaning. People across cultures and time have felt that the universe is built on a kind of geometric order, a hidden code woven into nature, life, and cosmos. In that sense, sacred geometry becomes a kind of universal language, where shapes, ratios, and patterns speak to the deeper structure of reality, key symbols and patterns. Let's look at some of the key shapes and symbols often associated with sacred geometry and what they are said to represent. Flower of life, a formation of overlapping circles often viewed as symbolic of unity and interconnectedness, representing the idea that all life arises from a single source and is interconnected. Metatron's cube, a more complex geometric figure derived from the flower of life. It contains within it the basic spatial building blocks, often believed to shape physical reality. Surya-yantra, a sacred diagram of interlocking triangles, often used in meditative and spiritual traditions, symbolizing the interplay of cosmic energies, creation, and the unfolding of the universe. Natural patterns from a spiral shell to the hexagonal honeycomb. Nature itself seems to follow geometric codes. Sacred geometry sees these not as random accidents but as signs of deeper order. These patterns, whether drawn on paper, carved in stone, or growing in nature, are viewed as more than shapes. They are expressions of harmony, proportion, and perhaps the invisible architecture of reality. Why people see sacred geometry as spiritual? Why do many believe these shapes are spiritual, not just aesthetic? Here are some reasons. 1. Universal order and harmony. Sacred geometry suggests there is an underlying order to creation, from galaxies to humans to atoms. The same patterns repeat across scales, hinting at unity behind apparent diversity. Bridge between spirit and matter. Geometry becomes a symbolic bridge, showing how the spiritual, invisible, subtle could shape the material, visible, physical. Through geometric forms, spirit is given structure. Tool for meditation, contemplation, awakening. Many traditions use sacred geometry, yantras, mandalas, patterns, as tools to focus the mind, align consciousness, and tune into deeper states of being. In other words, sacred geometry offers a way to see and feel that everything, life, nature, cosmos, may be woven from the same underlying tapestry of pattern, proportion, and purpose. Sacred geometry in human history. Sacred geometry has shaped not just spiritual philosophy, but art, architecture, and human culture over millennia. Ancient temples, mosques, churches, sacred groves, many sacred structures were designed using geometric principles believed to resonate with cosmic order. Mandalas, yantras, sacred art, humans have used geometry to express transcendence, unity, and spiritual truth. Even today, artists, architects, spiritual seekers draw on sacred geometry as a way to reconnect with the idea that existence is patterned, intelligent, and meaningful. So sacred geometry isn't an ancient relic, it lives now as a living tradition, a bridge between mind, matter, and spirit. How you can explore sacred geometry. You don't need a math degree or spiritual lineage to begin exploring sacred geometry. Here are simple ways anyone can start. Observe nature. Watch the spirals of shells, patterns in flowers, hexagons in honeycombs. Notice geometry in living forms. Draw or meditate on patterns. Sketch a flower of life, a mandala, a Surya-yantra, or simply gaze at such a pattern quietly, with open awareness. Use geometric art or architecture mindfully. Notice how shapes, proportions, space make you feel when you sit in a space built with harmony. Or view a geometric artwork. See how it resonates inside you. Use geometry as a bridge for inner work. Let shapes remind you of interconnectedness. Unity. underlying order, as symbols, as visual prompts, as doorways to deeper contemplation. This isn't about blindly believing, but about feeling, experiencing. It's opening to the possibility that what we call matter and what we call spirit are different expressions of the same cosmic geometry. In summary, sacred geometry invites us to see beyond surface appearances. It points to a cosmos alive with pattern, order, and meaning. It whispers, behind every flower petal, every shell, every star, there may be a silent geometry, a sacred design. If you listen with open eyes and an open heart, perhaps you begin to see that you too are part of that pattern, a living expression of geometry and spirit. Thank you for joining this journey. May your own life become a geometry of love, harmony, and conscious being.